Hey, friend.
Hey.
So, I went on a Bumble date.
Hold up. You went on a date and you didn't tell me.
Yes, correct. I went on a date and I didn't tell you, but I'm telling you now, and that's what's important.
Fine.
Okay, so match with this guy
Okay.
on Bumble. And the story, you're going to hate it, by the way, because it was... But I'm just prepping you. I'm just prepping you for your
Now
for
she's
your inner
giving me
anger.
tension. Okay. Tell the story.
Okay. So I match with this guy on Bumble and we start chatting. It's great. Okay. Conversation is going. It's a vibe. The bands, the chats, we're laughing. We're having a good time. Okay. And we agree that we're going to go out now for dinner. So we meet up. It's great. It's so much fun. Caveat. Okay. In all of the chats, one of the first things I ask for is, are you single? Okay, you have to.
Yeah.
I'm not playing this game. Like, are you single? To which my man replied, yes, he's single. So
I don't like where this story is going.
I know. Okay, it gets so much worse.
Oh, God.
Okay, so we go on a date, we have a good time, and then we're now at like the end of the date, and it's time to decide, like, is he gonna come up? Is he not gonna come up? But like, it's our first date. I don't want to go there that quickly, so I just kind of like brush him off. But at one point in the date, he kind of says something where he alludes to the fact that he's not single. So he slips. Okay, he makes a mistake. And so I jump on this thing and I'm like, sir, are you single? And now we're umming, we're ahhing, we're questioning, we're doing this. And I'm like, wait, what's the story? Turns out he has a wife.
Oh, hectic. My man's is married. Wait, what, why?
Because, look, okay, I mean, this is the world that we live in.
Your life is a story, friend. Your life is a story.
So now I'm just like, okay, fine, you're married. This is not going anywhere ever. Okay, like that's the sum total of what we're saying.
Yeah.
And so I begin to communicate this to him. I'm like, nothing is gonna happen. I'm getting out the car. This is done. And as I'm getting out, he says to me, well, probably, one of the reasons you're gonna stay single is because you need to lose some weight.
Oh. He did not.
He really did. And you know what?
No.
Okay.
Wait, what?
React. You're
not gonna just, what?
Yeah. Like the audacity.
Breathe, alright. Just, it happened.
The audacity.
Okay.
One of the reasons you're probably going to stay single is because you need to lose some weight.
So this is because you turned him down. This is because you called him out.
Yeah. So he wanted to sleep with me, and I said no because he's married. And then he said, well, maybe if you lost some weight.
The actual audacity.
Yeah. Okay, welcome back to our podcast. Leave me alone. I'm working on it. My name is Cassie. This is the lovely Ore.
Hi.
And today's episode, we're going to be talking about the audacity.
The actual audacity of some people.
The audacity of some people. For some people, it's actually pretty admirable, though. The fact that you can show up in a space and demand for what you want and move in those spaces, it's actually pretty admirable. For some people, you guys are not so great.
You need to dial it down by like 1,000.
Take it down 17,000 steps. Like just do less, you're fine. So today we're going to be talking about the audacity. And one of the things I was thinking about, this guy and just the audacity in general is if I had but just a fraction of the audacity,
just like 10%
that some of these people show up with every day, the things I would do, the things I could achieve, I'd dominate.
Listen, let me tell you something that's going to make you mad that I have done. I don't know if it's... It's fine. I own it. I only blame myself.
You get mad at me. This is our dynamic.
No,
it's fine.
What? No, I'm the good friend. I'm the cheerleader, go girl, girl supporter. What? Don't tarnishing my reputation in front of the. Anyway, I do this. I only blame me. I do this thing where, because I don't want to inconvenience someone else, I would rather inconvenience me. So, and sometimes it's like, it moves past the point of being considerate into just being plain dumb.
Yeah.
So the other day I went somewhere with a friend. We were going to we're sourcing certain materials and things for an event. And I had gone prepared with like a list. Oh, we're going to hit here, here, here. We're going to check here. We're going to check here. And she was just like, we need to go. We need to come back. Like in, out, done. And I'm like, So then we get there. And we go to the first shop and we're not really finding what we went to look for. So now it's taking longer. And as we are walking past, like she's moving. Homegirl is moving. And as we're walking past, I'm seeing like some of the things I had said I want to stop and check. But now I'm just like, we haven't really done what she wanted us. So Ori kept it moving.
So you didn't go to the things.
And then we went home. I just walked past all the stores of all the things. Guess who had to waste film and time and drive 40 minutes another day
to the store.
Go back to this day on another day because I didn't want to inconvenience her. I didn't want to.
But you guys had gone there together to do
one thing. So like for the same event, but we went there for majorly one thing. But then I had written a list like, we could possibly find and sort these other items out here, which would be a great help for this event.
Gotta so use your words, girl.
It was the same event.
You gotta use your words.
You know what's worse about this story is that I will probably do this thing again.
No.
I probably will.
No. We must learn and we must move forward. We can't repeat the same mistake.
But the thing is,
and expect a different outcome.
I'm not expecting a different outcome.
This is quite literally the definition of insanity.
But that's the thing. I'm not expecting a different outcome. Same outcome. I know what the outcome will be. I will pay the price. But the thing is,
But why?
I'm so hardwired, I think, to not like inconvenience people, to not want to take up too much space in the world, to not want to put anyone out, to like have my things together, to like know what I'm doing, to like be capable, to not. So like if they ask, can anyone handle something? Me, I can do it. I'm capable. And I won't even take up space. I won't even take up your time. I won't even take up too much of your money. Yeah. I'm so. And I don't even think it's being considered anymore. I think at this point it's just...
Because ultimately what you're doing is you're sacrificing... yourself.
Yes, repeatedly.
You're sacrificing your energy, your capacity.
Girl, repeated.
Like, also how you're showing up in a space as well is being sacrificed because you're taking on too much and because you're tired. Yep. I say this because even me, I do this. And I'm so tired all the time, but it's because I don't know how to say no. I don't know how to say no.
But friend, you know what I don't want to get into, what I think we need to is why. Why do we do this thing? Because if we're being honest, and I don't think this is a me alone problem or me or you problem. I think that there's many women, many people out there who are just the same way. You don't want to take up too much space. You don't want to be an inconvenience. You don't want to be a burden. And again, I don't know, but I feel like a lot of Black women struggle with this. A lot of women, definitely.
I was going to say, like, maybe not just Black women.
Yeah,
I think
a lot of
women
in general
struggle with speaking up when they're supposed to, taking up space in a boardroom or
because you know what I need to
learn
is the audacity that men walk around with. Like, they walk around with it like they're just born. They walk around with it like they were just born with it. Like they were born ready. And I need that. Like,
and you know what's also so frustrating is that 9 times out of 10, when I see men show up in a space with audacity, okay, they are not even the most equipped person to do the thing.
100%. Usually
they're claiming
not.
that they can do.
But that's what I've learned is if you show up in a space like you own the space, like you know what you're doing, you will get recognition. You will get the job. You will get the gig. You'll get the project. The timid person is not going to get that.
It's so true.
Because people feel like the reason you're timid is you don't know.
Fake it till you make it is a real thing.
Absolutely, 100%.
It's an absolute real thing. If you show up in a space like you are meant to be there, everybody is going to believe you. 100% they're going to believe you.
Sure. I worked with someone once who had that kind, like she had audacity for days. I'm still in awe. She had audacity for days. She was just like, I'm going to ask for what I want. The worst that'll happen is they'll say no. And me, I'm still here like, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. You know, maybe we do it. And she's just like, why? They'll say no and we'll move on.
Yeah.
No, my heart can't take it. I just... And a part of me wants to feel like maybe it has something to do with how we're raised.
I think it's definitely got a lot to do with how we were raised. I think if you look at I mean, this isn't a new conversation, but what's interesting is that the impact of what we were, of how we were raised, how we were brought up, what we were told as children, how that still rings so true
every
for
day,
us.
every
So
day.
for me, you know, like one of the things growing up in my house was we just, as children, you seen but not really heard.
But not heard. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That
like
used
you're
to be a
around,
thing.
but like you're not interrupting, you're not being too loud, you're not being too much, right?
Yeah, you're not
Especially
being
when
too
the
much.
adults are doing what they need to do. And for me, what's so interesting is how this has played for me. I was in a situation also at work where we have these Monday meetings, okay? So it's the Monday meeting, all the teams get together, everyone from, you know, like the senior directors, right down to more of the junior employees. At the time, I was more of a junior employee. But I was working on a project and I was the one with the update on the project. And you walk into the room and it's a massive boardroom table, like a big table, and then there's seats around the table. But because the meeting is so big, there's overflow seating around the space as well.
Got it.
And I knew I had to give an update, but I arrived at the meeting early because I was like, I have to speak.
Like you describing the boardroom is giving me anxiety. So I'm like, if I walked in there,
So I walked in and then I sat like if this is the boardroom and all the chairs on the outside, I sat like here, like in the corner where like I just would not
Girl,
be
you're
seen.
giving the update.
No.
You are giving
I
the
know.
update.
And then when it was time for me to give the update, and someone was like, okay, Cassie, so I'm now like speaking from my corner, but I'm kind of speaking a little bit like this because I don't want to be too loud. And I know it's horrible. And it's great because another woman in the room, like senior level woman.
Yes, please.
She saw me and she was like, babes, you come. And she literally, quite physically, pulled another chair to the table. She made people move out of the way. And she said, come sit here and give the update.
I really like that.
Right? And so it was beautiful because she created the space for me to do what I needed to do. But also internally for me, I was like, I'm not here alone. You know?
I got it.
And that was very helpful. I mean, in an ideal world, we wouldn't need all of this. But like as women,
it's never an ideal world though.
we also need to be playing this thing where we're supporting each other.
Where we're spotting, yes.
And I don't know
pulling.
that's happening as much as it
we
should.
talk a big game. I don't know that we're doing the deeds.
Yeah.
I think that we say it a lot. Women supporting women. Like it's a hashtag, it's a t-shirt, it's a tagline.
Yeah.
Are we really doing
everything that we could be doing?
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like for me, I've been since we started talking about doing this audacity and like sharing experiences, I've been walking around just going, the audacity. Like I'm telling everyone, I'm preaching the good news. I'm like, girl, we're doing this with audacity. Did you forget audacity? I'm like, I'm gonna start walking into a room, because I do this thing when I walk into a room, a conference, church, a party, I go to like the third row. I never sit in the front. Now I'm like walking into the room, the first seat. That's where I'm going to be. I'm going to walk into a restaurant, the best table. That's where I'm headed.
Yeah.
I don't talk to people. I don't speak to you except you speak to me. Like, I don't speak except spoken to. That's because I'm just like, what if I walk up to you and you...
a lot of the things that you were told as a child, right?
Don't speak unless spoken to. This is true.
Right? That's definitely something I heard a lot as a child.
This is true.
And it's not to say that in that instance it wasn't the right piece of instruction, but it's the fact that it was said so often and so often and so often and so often, it becomes, well, this is how I must show up. This is what it must be. Now we move into, and I obviously work in the corporate space, where the exact opposite is true. It's, if you don't speak up, you are going to be forgotten.
Yes.
And so you have to find your voice.
True, but it's
and
so
you have to practice the audacity, because if you don't, someone else will. And 9 times out of 10, that someone else is a man who maybe you are probably better than. I love men. We do. We love the men. We do.
This is not a man-hate show. Just putting that out there.
A little bit of a disclaimer.
But it's true
asterisk,
sometimes. It is true sometimes. I feel like I want to also just clarify that as much as we're saying you need to just be more audacious and walk into a room and like not be so timid or not be so scared. Ask for what you want.
Space.
No one is saying go out into the world and be an asshole. Nobody's saying go out into the world and be a jerk, because we don't like jerks either.
No, it's true.
They get a lot of things, but they don't really like. Well, it depends on how you want to leave the world and as you say, how you want to show up in the world. I'm not saying go out and be, you know, a complete jerk. But sometimes you just got to own it. Yeah. You know, you've got a skill. Own it, girl. Own it. Sell it. I'm preaching to the choir here. She knows I'm preaching to the choir. Own your skill. Sell your skill. Market yourself. Because I always feel like, oh, what if I'm not good enough? There's people who have 15% the skill that you possibly have, and they are doing 100% better than you because they put themselves out there. So like, I think I'm just going to walk away with that's going to be my mantra now. My mantra used to be everything will be fine, but that doesn't sound very audacious, does it? My new mantra is going to be what's the worst that will happen?
This is a good but this is a good question, because what's the worst thing that could happen? Okay, I walk up to my boss and I go, hey, can I have a pay raise? And he goes, no.
Okay. And then I go back to work.
Fine. You know, and we keep it moving.
Yeah, I walk up to someone new at a restaurant or at a meeting and I'm trying to network and you just like snob me. Fine. I walk away.
Right. You're so
what's the worst that will happen once I can think it through? Because for me, the worst, I feel like what throws me is that my anxiety builds up all kinds of scenarios in my head that are usually way worse than what could possibly happen.
It's very true.
So I'm just going to tell anxiety, sit down, shut up. What's the worst that can happen? They will snub me. Happened before. Been there, done that, got the T-shirt. So
I think, as well, because as you're speaking, because I think part of the whole thing of being audacious or learning how to take space in a room is that well, I'm glad you're comfortable, is also about that it's a continuous effort.
True.
It's like it's not like I'm gonna be audacious and then I'm gonna walk out the room and forever and a day, like I'm done. I'm fixed. It's done. You know, like it requires this consistent kind of effort.
Leave me alone, I'm working on it. It's a working on it.
Leave me alone, I'm working on it. But I think it's also, and I mean, I do this today at work as well. If I have a meeting. So this happened just last week. I had 3 big meetings over the course of the week, and I had so much anxiety about them because I needed to talk to my bosses because I've got so many of them. A conversation for a different time. But I had to talk to my boss and I had to give them an update. And before every meeting, I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I need to figure it out, and I'm going to figure it out. But right now I'm like, So what I did was I kid you not, went into the bathroom, I looked at myself in the mirror, no jokes, and I said, you're going to fake it till you make it. If you show up with confidence, they are going to believe you. So show up with confidence.
I like that.
I was like, well, this is what I'm going to do. And all 3 of them were like, that sounds great. That sounds amazing. Do that. Here's a little bit of input. Here's a little bit of feedback. But great plan. And I left and I was just
well done.
Did I?
Did I do it?
Did I make it? Did it happen?
It's like one of my favorite scenes on Ted Lasso where
oh my gosh,
Rebecca,
I love Ted Lasso
that you didn't finish watching.
I haven't finished watching it yet, but I'm gonna get there. I love Ted Lasso. How can a show be so funny and so wholesome at the same time?
One of my favorite.
I need you to move on.
One of my favorite scenes.
I'm gonna get there.
Is where
leave me alone. I'm working on it.
Okay, fair, fine. Rebecca is standing in front. You do remember who Rebecca is, right? Just
not that bad. Okay. Yes, I know who Rebecca is.
Okay,
she's the shame lady from Game of Thrones.
She is the shame lady from Game of Thrones, but we're not gonna see her in that light. She's the owner of a football club. I like that perspective.
That's true.
Anyway,
shout out
and
Rebecca.
she's this is a really rich woman. She's a billionaire, I suppose. I don't know how wealthy she is, but she's got a lot of money. Yeah. She's successful.
Yeah.
And she's standing in front of her mirror, and what she's seeing, that like the reflection that's looking back at her is herself as a child. And she's like going into, I can't remember what she's going in. I think a meeting with other football club owners.
Oh, hectic.
And she's the only woman in that thing.
I haven't watched this episode.
See? Have not.
This is not the episode I watched.
Spoilers, but I really don't care because you should.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
And what she does is, and she's nervous. You could see that she's nervous.
Yeah.
And then she just, because this thing is, they make yourself as big as possible.
Yeah.
And then she goes kind of like that. It was the weirdest thing. And then she goes, like she's like a cat. And then after that, she just adjusts herself, puts her, I'm okay. Grabs her fancy handbag, walks out the door, and those heels. Oh my God, woman with them heels. Yeah, There's two women I want their wardrobe. First one, Jessica Pearson.
Okay,
Second,
Pearson.
Rebecca.
Jessica Pearson is amazing, but in all facets. Like, she's such a boss bitch. It's amazing. Amazing.
But the things that, because I agree with you, it's not going to happen overnight. We're not saying that's, even me, you're a work in progress sitting right here. I don't even know if I should call myself a work in progress or almost a work in progress, but but like continuously doing the little things that you need to do to get yourself from someone who constantly is at the back of the room, quiet, hiding, to someone who's at the front, marketing themselves or networking or helping someone else even, or speaking out on behalf of someone. Because sometimes you don't need the audacity for you. You need it for someone else to step in on behalf of someone, to be there for someone, to uplift someone, to speak out, on behalf of another person. So like, I think that we keep working. We keep doing the things that we're doing. The more good people, or good-intentioned people, I should say, who have the audacity, maybe the less weird and random stories about things that we shouldn't be.
Oh, no.
Well, I'm hopeful.
Because we're dealing with people, and people can sometimes be the worst. So I think it's about, I mean, at the end of the day, you can only control you. And you can only control how you are showing up in the world. So it's about, as you said, it's about showing up audaciously, but with good intention. Yeah. And hopefully, things
please
get
girl,
better.
Sell your market. I feel like I need to say this to me. I need to put this on my wall. Sell your market. Like, sell yourself. Be audacious. Be bold. Like, brand yourself. Do it right. Yeah. Get your brand in front of the right people. Yeah. Like, don't be afraid. Ask for collaborations. Yeah. This is a very valuable lesson from this year. I have learned this thing. Ask for collaborations. Like, offer a good exchange. Don't go asking for collaborations and you're offering like subpar. Offer something good. Sit down, think about it. What can I offer this person that would make them want to do this thing with me? Like, friend, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. And
I think it really is one step. It's just one step at a time. One step at a time.
All right.
Okay, so let's also have a look at some people, okay? Because this is the other thing about being audacious, is that you may do something, and then everyone else is just kind of like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And irrespective of like whether or not it feels like the right thing or not, you did it, right? And you stepped up for yourself. So I want to look at some Am I the Asshole stories.
Oh, fun. I like these.
And see how we go. Okay. Let me just pull these up.
I feel like you would have picked the worst ones. Just so that you can get the worst reactions out of me. I feel like I'm being set up.
I definitely looked for I've definitely found some very interesting ones, I'm not going to lie. Okay. So this one. This one stressed me out. Okay. Am I the asshole for covertly losing weight as a bridesmaid and refusing to be set up with her friend after overhearing the bride call me fat?
That went left real quick.
My friend Kate's wedding was last weekend. We went to grad school together, but haven't seen each other in person in about 2 years, though we FaceTimed and kept up enough since then to where she's invited me to be in her wedding. However, a large part of this is that her fiancé has 8 groomsmen and she needed enough people. About 6 months before the wedding, the bridesmaids were all talking in a group chat on Discord, and I overheard Kate, who must have thought that she was on mute or that her voice wouldn't carry, rather snidely turn to Kyle, the fiancé, and say that I would round out the group because I would be a good counterweight to her fiancé's friend, Tim. The idea being that Tim and I were both obese. When she moved back toward the mic and said something about not being on mute, I acted like I couldn't hear anything and said something like, yeah, you were really far away. You sounded like you were underwater. I couldn't hear you.
Yo, even you.
I'm also just like the quick thinking. Thinking.
True. She's done something like this before.
Do you think so?
She's done something like this before. That was too quick.
I don't know that I would be that quick.
I would not.
That's fair. Okay, this is a good point. Okay, I hadn't thought about that. Okay, I'd been planning on losing weight anyway, but I lost 35 pounds of fat in 6 months and put on 4 pounds of muscle, largely out of spite.
Well, revenge body.
Revenge body. I also fully get this. Okay. As soon as I knew what... sorry. Okay. I've always hated pictures of myself and don't maintain social media, so it wasn't outside of the norm for no one to see me. As soon as I knew what my plan was, I ordered a size down in my bridesmaid's dress that had then had it tailored in a little bit more. I wore the tightest Lululemons I could find, and when I met everyone at the hotel the day before, seeing the visceral shock on Kate's face was priceless. At the wedding, I still walked in with Tim, but he was a bit stiff and awkward around me, which I attributed to nerves or just not caring for strangers. Later, after enough alcohol had been passed around, the truth finally came out that Kate wanted to set me up with Tim, which I refused. And before she was 86, Kate said, "You're not supposed to be skinnier than me. You're upstaging me at my own wedding." We didn't have a knockdown, drag-out fight, and it wasn't particularly dramatic. But apparently the other bridesmaids and groomsmen got the impression that I'd somehow been a bitch to Tim and that it was shitty of me to refuse a date with him. Kate and I haven't spoken since the reception, during which I said congratulations and essentially ghosted after things went south. And now I'm sitting here wondering if I'm the asshole.
First of all, who's Tim to Kate? Why is he so important that we're trying to set him up with someone?
Tim is Kate's fiance's groomsman.
Yeah, but
he's just the only other fat person there.
Okay, so what? It's like,
so the two fatties must be together.
So like the two ugly people must be together.
That's ultimately what I'm taking away from this.
Also, I have many things going through my mind. Many things, but no, hun, you are not the asshole. I don't think she's the asshole.
I don't think she's an asshole.
I don't think she's the asshole. I don't. Kate needs to, first of all, even you, Kate. Let's start with you. Even you, Kate. We could have told what kind of person she was when she doesn't have enough friends to match this 8 groomsmen. Now it's true, because now you're picking someone that you don't want on your train because you've got no one else to step in.
Hectic. Okay,
literally.
Fair.
If she had her way, I don't know what this girl's name is. I'm going to call her Mandy. If she had her way, Mandy the fatty would not be there.
Have featured.
But it's just like she was stuck. Didn't have anyone else. So now, okay, fine, Mandy can come.
If she must.
Like, that's a problem for me to start with.
Fair.
So everything else that goes downhill from there, for me, that's like where it starts.
But to the other point as well is like, why would you set the two of them up just because they're both
I don't even
big?
know how that's a criteria for...
Like, that's not enough of a criteria to...
Do they have anything else in common apart from how they look?
Yeah, I don't know. This whole thing is super sus.
Did they ask to be set up?
The whole thing is super fair. The whole thing is super sus from Kate's side. Not gonna lie.
See, getting into brides and the things that brides do. Another chat, another day. Not touching that today.
We can talk brides another time. But I think the other thing for me that I was thinking when I read the story was, how did she turn Tim down? Because for me, if like everyone is going like, oh, well, you got the impression that, you didn't want to be with him.
No, friend, they didn't got the impression. Kate told them this thing. I'm sure of it. Kate told them this thing. Because now Kate is upset. How dare you come to my wedding looking good?
Is, as long as we were all like respectful to everyone, then you're not the asshole.
I would,
if you like shut him down, like, or whatever. I'm not saying that's what she did, but I'm just saying Mandy. We named her Mandy.
Mandy.
But if that's what Mandy did, did, then that's not cool. But if you were just like, hey, look, Tim, you're cool, but thanks.
You've got a fair point. I'm struggling to see a world where, but it happens. Hurt people hurt other people. Because I'm like, Mandy, who's been treated badly just because she was overweight, will turn around now and treat Tim badly, or speak to him, or turn him down badly. Yo, that would be a very sad.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm definitely.
But it's a possibility. But it is a possibility. Yes, it could have.
Speculating, but yes, I do hear you. Okay, cool. You ready for the next one?
The audacity of brides. That should be a whole episode.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this one. Okay, this one I'm confused on this one.
Okay, let's hear it.
Am I the asshole for not moving out of the property my parents gave me so that my golden child sister, her husband and child could move in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Give me more context.
I'm getting there. That's the whole point. Okay.
Yeah.
My sister was the first among 4 siblings to have a child. Okay. My niece is incredibly spoiled by my sister, our parents, and extended family. And my parents bend over backwards for my sister's requests, like canceling their anniversary trip because my sister asked to babysit while she goes on a girls' weekend. So mom and dad, you don't have your anniversary, but babysit my child so that I can go out. But okay. This spring, my boyfriend and rock in my life passed away. At the same time, I lost my job. I had a lot going on and moved back to my hometown. My parents own a property that they used to rent out. The property had been empty for a while and fairly run down. My parents invited me to stay there, rent-free, told me it was my home for as long as I needed it. Well done, mom and dad. Okay. I invested a lot of my time and money and found a remote gig into getting the house fixed up. And I also made friends with Olga, a Ukrainian refugee with a young daughter. Olga was struggling, and I invited her to stay with me for a couple of months while she gets back on her feet. I could have also really used the company. She was very thankful, but hasn't made a firm response yet, as she's trying to make things work independently. My parents had no issue with this. Until recent drama. Dum, dum, dum. Okay, my brother-in-law had been working for a shady company which skirted regulations for profit. The law had caught up with the owner, who folded the company and left the country. I'll cut this short given the post character limit, but a few other things went down and my sister's family abruptly moved to our hometown, moving in with my parents. Almost immediately, my parents and sister approached me to swap. So I move in with my parents and my sister and her family take my place. They said the house I lived in was too large for one person and it'd be so much better for my niece to live on a beautiful property in nature. I didn't understand. My parents have 2 guest bedrooms, so my sister and brother-in-law would have their own room, and my niece, their child, would have their own room as well. My brother-in-law was still loaded from his old job and could easily get them a place too, but chose not to. When I mentioned my work on the property, it was dismissed. When I reminded them about Olga, my parents were outraged that I was still intent on helping someone else instead of helping my own family. They kept making out my sister's situation to be nearly as bad as Olga, the Ukrainian refugee. Eventually, it came down to my parents saying, "You're living on our property, you'll do as we want." I said, "Well, you gave it to me and said this was my house as well, to be my home for as long as I needed. But if we want to talk in property terms, not family terms, then evict me."
Yo.
My parents are not evicting me, but I receive daily calls and messages from them and extended family, guilt-tripping me and calling me an asshole for not giving up the more comfortable space to my sister, who is in such a difficult situation and has a little child. Only my brothers see my side. Am I the asshole?
Yo. I don't know. I don't know. Because on the one hand, girl, your sister's family needs something. See, here's where I'm struggling. Because what I'm struggling with is, are we basically saying that people who are married and have kids have more rights and claims to privacy or a nice property than people who are being singled, in which case we are punishing her for not being married? Because I'm like, if this story were different and she had a husband and a child, would it be the same situation?
I don't think so. Based on this, I don't think so. I think they would be like, you move.
They'd still tell her to move?
No, I think they'd tell her to stay. Yeah.
So the only reason this is an issue is because she's single. So the real problem here is you didn't get married.
Yeah.
So now you gotta move back. Like that's where I'm struggling. Otherwise, I'm looking at it from like my point of view and thinking if, oh God forbid, but if something like this happened to my sister's family, my sister's also got a little kid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would happily trade because tiny humans they wreak so much havoc.
This is true.
Tiny humans are chaos personified.
This is true.
So I'm just like them now having these two tiny rooms with a tiny human. It's going to complicate life for everyone. And that child's not going to be able to run free and throw things around and whatnot. I would happily move into my parents because again, everything is temporary for everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'd move there. And because I know that this is not an ideal situation now, I just keep working and keep saving and keep hustling till I'm able to. I would give them, like, you wouldn't even have to ask me. I'd give them the house.
Oh,
the
but
only
you
thing
are
there,
the saint, angel of all angels.
but it's my sister, you know?
But it's her sister as well.
Yeah, but like it depends on what relationship and how you feel about your sister.
Because I'm also just like, sister was very willing for parents to cancel anniversary.
Sister is problematic.
Sister
yes,
sounds problematic.
Parents even are a bit problematic.
And it also speaks to this whole thing of like emotional bank account. I need to build into your emotional bank account and you build into mine so that when I need to make a withdrawal, I can, you know? And it feels like here, there's the bank accounts are negative balances. We're negative balances in these bank accounts. And so why must I give it up for you?
But my one thing there is, so if the sister's family does move into this house, what happens to Olga? Where does she go?
Well, Olga, the Ukrainian refugee, and her child must figure it out. Well, because I'm just like in the context of like...
I understand.
Like the sister thinks her situation is exactly the same as the Ukrainian refugee. No. And it's just not.
No, ma'am.
Especially if husband has the opportunity to get another place.
I'm also like, why aren't they just getting a place?
I don't understand. So I think maybe there's not enough context here.
Or maybe the money does not exist.
Or maybe the money's not real.
Because all of us out here living Instagram lives.
Listen.
Maybe he doesn't have that much money.
This is such a real thing. This is such a real thing.
Yeah, so maybe he doesn't. But to save face, it's like, oh, we could rent our own place if we wanted to, but we want to stay close to family or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's very possible.
I'm just like, so if I were to be like, are you the asshole? I also see a world where I move.
I say yes, you are the asshole.
That she's been around. But she had someone die.
Still, friend.
Like they're not
putting you out on the streets. They're asking you to move into a house that's got 2 guest bedrooms. I think you're the asshole. I don't know what your name is. I'm going to call you Sandra. I think you're the asshole, Sandra. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, this one's interesting. Let me just find it here in my. Okay, this one's interesting. Okay. Am I the asshole for assuming my boyfriend would share maternity clothing costs with me?
Sorry, what?
I am pregnant with my boyfriend of 5 years. Okay, we're not super well off, but we do okay. We plan to open a shared account, but right now we are using Splitwise for shared expenses. I really recommend Splitwise, by the way. It's a great app, okay? Today I put an amount on there for about $220. You use Splitwise? Okay, so basically Splitwise is an app, like if we go on like a group trip or whatever.
Group trips. Traumatized just hearing about group trips. But continue.
We go on a group trip, okay? And I buy something today, you buy something the next day. We put it on the app and then the app splits it. And then at the end of the trip, the app will be like, okay, Cassie, based on all the expenses, you owe Ore X amount of money, right? So it just balances it all out. So it's really great and it's helped to track. Okay, so they're using Splitwise for shared expenses. Today I put an amount on there for about $220, which is honestly not many items and all were on sale for maternity clothes and nursing bras. In reality, I bought for much more than that, but I considered this amount was reasonable for the minimum items required. He's been really pissy about it, mumbling that he didn't expect me to have to pay for clothes. Oh, he didn't expect to have to pay for her clothes. I said I would not need them if I wasn't pregnant with our child. He's a little grumpy now and complained that I should have told him about it first. Am I the asshole for assuming that because it's our child, we would split the costs 50-50?
First of all, why is she with this person?
No, that's not the response.
I'm just like...
That's not the response. Because here's for me, my thing is, I do think that he needs to weigh in, but I think that his issue was that the cost was a surprise.
I agree that she should have
She should have just been like, hey, Brother Bear.
Brother Bear? To the man whose baby you're carrying? Incest?
Hey, person. Hey, babe. Can you tell I'm single? Hey, babe.
Wow. At least I didn't say it. At least I didn't call this, but...
Okay, hey, babe. We need to split the thing. We need to go 50-50. I need to go out and get some clothes. I'm going to put it on Splitwise. Because then I'm prepared. And I'm going, okay, fine. Like, I need to budget for this expense in my mind. Don't surprise me. Surprise, Bill. Especially if this is our arrangement. Our arrangement is that we're already on Splitwise. We both know that the finances and the things. I still think you should pay. Do not get me wrong.
So it's more the surprise factor. But I don't think that's what's tripping him up, though, because he's grumpy now about it. I agree that she should have said so, but I don't agree. Why is he grumpy? Like, what must happen now? She's pregnant, okay? So did you, when
she's pregnant,
because she did not climb on top of herself and get pregnant. So this is an expense that you knew was coming. You know all the expenses are coming over the next 9 months. You know this.
This is true.
So fine, she may not have said it to you, which I agree. She should have been like, oh, hey, by the way,
FYI.
It's that time in this little journey that we're on where I need to go do
and you go
this.
shopping.
So she should have said that. But like when she came and she didn't say, he should have been like, oh, I didn't have plans for that this month. I thought you were going to give me a heads up before, but okay, fine, we work it out. That's the response. We move. Like, you call it out, like, I wish you told me because I would have made plans or whatever, but now it's done. We move.
Yeah.
Why are we grumpy? Why are we mumbling? What's supposed to happen? I don't understand this.
I see it a little bit from his side. Because don't surprise me, but yes.
So is she asking if she's the asshole?
She's the asshole she's asking, am I the asshole for asking him to contribute?
She's not the asshole for asking him to pay for half.
I don't think so.
She might be a teeny bit of the asshole for not telling him, for surprising him with it.
I'm not gonna call her an asshole.
Well,
but
I mean, like, in the context of
I'm with you. But I'm just like, yeah, she should have just.
Yeah, I don't think she's the asshole. I don't think
she's an asshole.
I don't agree. I don't see his side of things. I'm sorry. I just can't. I'm doing the heavy lifting. I'm pregnant.
Listen, this is also true.
My body is completely foreign. It's like foreign land. It doesn't even belong to me anymore. I don't know what's happening. I wake up every day. It's something new. My feet are swollen. I'm nauseous. I've got headaches. I've got heartburn. I'm eating food I don't even like.
Hectic.
Like, the whole thing is just
this whole pregnancy thing.
And I'm not saying that to excuse. I'm not saying that everything that women do. It does sound very stressful, doesn't it? I'm not saying that everything women do should be, pardoned just because we're pregnant or whatever. I agree that she should have told him. I agree. But I'm just like, my man, even you. Get with the program. This baby is coming whether you know. No. Okay. Anyway, so I think that have these chats with people before you get to those points. Like, before you start mixing finances, have chats. Like, know how you guys both respond to
money.
To money. A friend of mine said something that I've said this to you.
Yeah, you have
Deb
said
this thing to me, and I'm holding on to it. She's like, before you become close friends with someone, you just watch how they deal with money, how they interact with money, how they treat money. Watch it. If you like it, if it syncs with how you treat money and how you react to money, then you guys will be fine.
Yeah.
If your perspectives on money are very different, run. You guys are gonna have issues, and it has saved me a world of pain. The one time I didn't listen, I don't want to tell you what happened to this time. I feel like springing a game of Would You Rather on you.
Would you rather? I probably don't want to do anything. I would rather take a nap. But okay, let's go.
What? After she sat here and preached about audacity, homegirl wants to take a nap.
I would just love to take a nap.
Okay. So some of them do link to audacity, some of them don't, but we'll see. I think I've got some fun ones. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
First one. Would you rather get a pay cut so your colleague and work bestie doesn't get fired?
What?
Yeah. Would you rather get a pay cut? Would you take a pay cut so that your work bestie doesn't get fired? TikTok.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around the situation. How did I get here?
So there's two of you doing similar roles, not the same role.
And so I'm obviously doing it better because otherwise...
You are doing it better, definitely. So
and the boss is like...
And your boss calls you and goes...
Come into the room. We can either fire your bestie...
And you take on her role in addition to yours. And
do I get her salary?
You do get her salary.
Oh, snap.
You get her salary, but then she loses her job.
When you say bestie, like how...
I can't believe you. You would rather she got fired.
I'm trying to give context to the situation. How close are we really? Like, are we like die for each other? Besties.
Is anybody die for each other with their work bestie? Work bestie.
It's a work bestie.
It's a work bestie. Like your work wife.
Is she gonna be my bridesmaid at my... Will she be a bridesmaid at my wedding?
Yes, she would be one of your bridesmaids.
Okay,
if you don't pull a Kate versus Mandy kind of thing.
Sick. Okay, moving on. But if she...
The way you need clarity about this question, answer the question.
I just need to understand because if it's a work bestie...
My heart is doing kikum because I'm just like, I'm realizing the person I'm friends with.
If it's a work bestie who is someone who's close enough to me that they would be a bridesmaid at my wedding, where hopefully 10 years from now, I'm going to look at these pictures and we're still going to be friends.
You may not be friends 10 years from now. No, there's no guarantee.
But what I'm saying is if you're a bridesmaid at my wedding, that's at least how I'm thinking. I'm thinking in my mind that 10 years from now, we're still going to be friends.
Just answer the question. Yo, I've never played Would You Rather with anyone where we've gone into this theoretical, hypothetical, what?
If they're a real friend... I can't.
No caveats.
I can't fire
There are
them.
no caveats, friend.
I can't fire
So
them.
you wouldn't take...
How? I will feel like shit the rest of my life.
Can I tell you something really funny?
No. Okay, fine.
This is a true story.
To who?
Me.
And you took the money.
Years and years ago. No, I got a pay cut. I took the money.
You took the pay cut?
Yeah. I took the pay cut.
Look, it's full.
And she will never know, and I will never tell her.
For my peace, I would have to take the pay cut.
Yeah, I
for
took the
my peace.
I took the pay cut. But you see how God works is I took the pay cut. Me and her continued working. Nothing happened. We moved on. Like nothing. And so it was rough at first, hey. But then it turns out at some point, something changed, and I got assigned a new role, and I got a pay bump. And then it was like, it took some time. It took like 6 months of me getting like, really shitty money.
But do you see what I'm saying? It's because for 6 months, every time I'm getting shitty money, I would be like, what could have been?
What could have been? Yeah,
but no, I don't think I could. Bestie. The word bestie is in our friendship title. No, I can't.
Do you know, I actually saw you going, show me the money. I thought that was going to be your response.
No, 9 times out of 10, that's the response. Let's not play.
I'm safe. I know that if I get to work with you, you're not going to sacrifice my job for a pay raise. So.
No, I would never do that to you. There's some people out there, though.
Pinch your salt, friend. Okay. Would you rather someone... By the way, you inspired this. Would you rather someone continuously takes credit for your work and gets promoted, or you get a hefty pay raise but no one ever discovers your life's greatest achievements?
Money.
Really?
Give me the money.
Really?
Give me the money.
I
will live my best life. I will travel. I will shop. I will eat.
No recognition.
All the things.
If you discovered or if you invented Google,
give me the money.
You would give me the money.
I don't care. Give me the money.
Keep your money. Give me my accolades. What? Which money? Give me
the money.
Here's the thing is
Google. I invent Google. Am I a billionaire?
What, when they give you the money?
And I invent Google. Know. Am I a billionaire?
No, but that was no. It's a work thing. You're only gonna get paid. I don't know how much, but you work for a company.
Doesn't matter.
A billionaire?
So it's a hefty pay rise.
But
hefty pay increase.
Yeah.
Give me the money.
But then,
Give me
if
the
your
money.
name is out
Give me
there,
the
do you
money.
know how much
Give me the
money you
money.
can make?
Give me the money.
Yeah, I'm not ready for you.
Give me the money.
I'm like, I would take my recognition because I can use that to make money everywhere. And I'd still own that I invented this thing. I would go in the history books. They would write songs about me. They would make movies about me. And I'd still be wealthy. Because all of these things are going to make you money.
Okay, but I need to understand.
It's fine. We move. You asked too many questions for Would You Rather. I've never played Would You Rather with anyone worse than you.
I just need context.
Okay, so last one.
Yeah.
Would you rather have to tell your boss that they smell really bad, like really funky, like the BO's just killing you, or have to release smelly farts at the office twice a day, every day, for a full year, and everyone will know it was you?
Oh, God.
Me, I'm just like, where's my perfume?
Are you
Guys,
serious?
I apologize up front. Y'all are going to be smelling some things. I'm not telling
No.
my boss anything. Nope. No.
I'm going to sit my boss
I
down
can't.
and be like,
I have friends
"Sir."
who I haven't said this to because I'm just like, if someone said it to me, how would I feel?
It's not about what they say to you. It's about how they say it, Ore.
Yo, friend.
It's about how we say it. The how is so important. Of course, if I walk up to you and I'm like, oh my gosh, Ore,
So you tell your
smell.
boss.
I would sit my boss down. I'd be like, sir, ma'am. Hopefully it's a ma'am. Okay? Here's the thing. You're so great. There's so much that's so wonderful about you. But some opportunity areas.
Opportunity areas. I can't.
There are a few opportunity areas for you. And it's so easy to fix. So easy to fix.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Yes,
I can't.
yeah,
I
yes,
can't
smell. Yes, stink.
I can't do it. I can't. No.
No, but because the
We've
alternative is
established
for me.
this though. I would rather take the punishment for me.
Yeah,
I would
but we
rather.
also have established that we need to work on being more audacious.
Fine.
So,
But in the here
you
and
go.
the now, I am not telling my boss.
100% I'm
okay,
telling my
fine.
boss.
Good. But we're working
100%.
on becoming the people who will be like,
100%.
excuse me, sir. Yeah, you smell. Just thought you'd like to know before you walk into the board meeting.
You don't smell the good.
Did you
That's
hella-
actually a good way to do
you
it. To be
hella
like,
funky.
yeah, it's true. It's a good way to do it. Anyway, so yeah.
That's all I got.
That's it on being audacious.
Yeah, now I'm stressed. Now I've
No,
told
don't be
everyone that we need to be
stressed.
audacious.
Don't be
I need to
stressed.
go out
We're
and...
gonna leave this episode. We're gonna leave this chat. We're gonna be like, this is how we're showing up in the world.
I'm
More
fine with
boldly,
that.
more confidently.
Yeah.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Yep. I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
It's gonna be fun.
One way or the other.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna
Yeah.
be okay. Cool.
This was fun.
This was fun.
I think it was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was fun too. Okay.
Patting ourselves on the back like, yes, we did good.
Love you. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Please don't forget to like and subscribe anywhere and everywhere you find your podcasts. You can also watch and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Okay, love you. Bye.